Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Believe in best. Tonight on Our News, a Bimini shooting incident caught on camera. F&M leadership hopeful Michael Pintard vows to be a fearless leader, and why this year's fiscal strategy report has been delayed. Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, a Bimini man seriously injured following a horrific shooting incident that was captured on camera this morning. Jasmine Brown was in Bimini today and filed this report.
The Island MP revealed that it was Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville who helped the shooting victim.
The Minister of Health was here and he was able to administer help to the young man. That is the most interesting thing because he came here to administer the vaccines. But he, in fact, was on the scene and saw the man and was able to discover that something was wrong and to administer help. I thank God for him.
According to police, they received reports of the shooting in Baileytown, Bimini shortly after 9 a.m. Police said upon the officers' arrival, the initial investigation revealed that 2 adult males were involved in a physical altercation, which resulted in one of the males being shot about the body.
I'm deeply wounded by it and severely disappointed. The reality is we have to get guns off our streets. I think that the proliferation of guns in the capital and also in our second city is now moving through the alleys. And the incident this morning, obviously we all feel very badly about the injury to the young man.
The victim, who police say was in serious condition, was taken to New Providence to seek medical attention. A video of the altercation depicted 2 men fighting in the street. One of the men pulled out a gun and shot the other while he was just inches away from him.
I do know everyone in my constituency. I've either seen them or spoken with them, but because of a campaign, you know the names. And you have to reach out to everyone. Yes, that's why I'm so wounded by it, because these are my people. And whether they vote for me or not, it doesn't matter. These are my people. And when one hurt, we all hurt. And I'm hurt by it, and I feel very badly that it happened and what caused it to happen.
Reporting from Allistown, Bimini for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
In other news, it's a 3-way race for the leadership of the Free National Movement as the nomination process closed this afternoon. Party officials say the one-day convention will cost around $100,000. Bethany McDermott reports.
That's right, Christina. The nomination process for the race for leadership of the Free National Movement officially closed this afternoon, making it a 3-man race. Officials outlining just how much that one-day convention will cost the F&M.
The cost of the convention has always been very expensive, okay? And the party has decided at this particular time they'll take and undergo the entire cost of the convention. This convention, we have put a budget together and will cost slightly under about $100,000. This will include airfare travel for the delegates coming from the Family Islands, the room and board, and ground transportation from the Family Islands, and all other expenses associated with having a one-day convention.
The party will host a 3-day convention in February. Officials have yet to determine the cost of that event. Marco City MP Michael Pintard, East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson, and Central Grand Bahama MP Iram Lewis will go head-to-head for the top post. F&M Deputy Leader Peter Turnquest said the goal is to formalize the structure of the F&M.
It is a significant task that has been passed to the Constitutional Committee, and certainly we are soliciting input, suggestions for recommendations or amendments to that Constitution from our party members, and we look forward to the work that they will produce. Again, it's all about modernizing, making sure that the party is set up to reflect modern-day practice.
The former Deputy Prime Minister also addressed discord among factions within the F&M.
We expect fully that all of the persons that are vying for the position of leader will rally behind whoever is successful on the 27th. We anticipate that that person will give all of their attention towards unifying the party, to bringing all of the various elements together, healing from whatever differences there may be.
Party Chairman Carl Colmer gave this assurance as the party looks to move forward.
I wish to assure FNMs and Bahamians that our party has a bright future and looks towards unifying a party and moving forward.
Now again, the one-day convention will begin at 9 a.m. on November 27th at the Holy Trinity Activity Center. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Well, vowing to be a fearless and unifying leader, Marco City MP Michael Pintard nominated for FNM Leader today. Pintard tells reporters bullying tactics are already emerging from members of the new administration. Jillian Gray reports.
More than a dozen supporters of Michael Pintard gathered at FNM headquarters as he officially nominated for the party's top post.
My assignment right now until the next convention is to repair those dysfunctions that may exist in our organization, to unite all Free National Movement supporters, no matter who historically they have supported as a leader, to reignite the excitement in this organization as the vehicle of change for the tens of thousands of FNMs who stayed at home.
There's been speculation that the person who wins this race may not be the one who leads the party into the next election.
The delegates of the Free National Movement determine who will continue to lead, and the fact that we intend to have another convention before the election, persons can put that view forth. I don't disagree with their view that there is an opportunity for somebody else to lead. At the end of the day, I want what's best for our people. If at any point in the future I don't represent the best option, I'm prepared to support what is best for the Bahamian people.
It's historic, but not surprising that all three of the candidates nominated thus far are from Grand Bahama, according to Pintard, who, while heralding the FNM's deep bench, said he wished the decision of who would be leader could have happened at a meeting instead of a convention.
I think it's important to be fearless. What we are already seeing is bullying tactics by some members of this administration. And again, I find it difficult to believe that the leadership is aware that this is going on. And so we intend to engage with the leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party.
The Marco City MP added the opposition needs a leader who is fearless enough to help those being victimized take legal action.
Now, Pintard said his supporters span not only generations, but also administrations. And some of those former parliamentarians were here today to cheer him on.
He wants us to move forward, notwithstanding the challenges we've had a few weeks ago in the election. He wants us to be united, notwithstanding the challenges we've had. And I think that's going to resonate on election day.
Pintard knows how to bring people together. And as a leader, you must have that type of skills and ability to affect change.
When you have a government the size of the PLP and the opposition the size of the FNM, you need bold, tough and fearless opposition.
The FNM's convention is November 27th. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
And the government's 2021 fiscal strategy report and medium-term debt management strategy will be delayed, according to the Ministry of Finance. Government is required under the Fiscal Responsibility Act to present its report to Parliament on or before the third Wednesday of November. This year's deadline was yesterday. However, the debate on the new supplementary budget has not yet been completed and is scheduled to commence the week of November 29th. As a result, officials say the revised estimates of revenue and expenditure for the next fiscal year have not been legitimized by Parliament. The practice was mandated in law 2 years ago. The report was also delayed last year. A cloudy evening in the capital. Greg Thompson has the latest from the Weather Center.
Thanks, Christina. Welcome everybody for your first look at weather, brought to you tonight by Ports International, trusted medical supplies for a better quality of life. Cloudy conditions outside our studios right now. Temperatures still comfortable in the upper 70s, 77 outside our studios. The winds are still a little brisk, east at 12 knots, and your feels like temperature at 80 degrees. Satellite and radar view, we're looking at a lot of showers across the Florida Peninsula. That's actually going to be spreading across the area, that frontal boundary across the central Bahamas, now lifting towards the north. That's going to bring that moisture across our area for at least tonight through tomorrow before we get a front by the end of the week. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, Michael Pintard calls for action on marital rape. And a look at Alive's progress on Abaco 2 years post-Dorian. Find out more after this.
Get that glorious internet connection back in business within seconds with the new self-help modem reset. Just follow these very easy steps. Step 1, call 601-2200 or 242-300-2200. Number 2, select option 3. Step 3, select option 2. Step 4, enter your 8-digit account number. Step 5, follow the prompts. It's really that simple. Rev, you and us together.
Legislation to protect women from marital rape should be crafted, according to Marco City MP Michael Pintard, who condemned sexual violence. Pintard says it is not a private matter and lawmakers must act.
As policymakers, we have to engage in the discussion and lead the country in discussing the way forward and how we must resolve this issue. It is not a private matter. Violence, in general, sexual violence in particular, is a national matter that the state should in fact engage in. A woman has a right to refuse to engage in intimacy with her partner.
The Minnis administration, which Pintard was a member of, made no movements on this issue. From couples who may be separated to women who feel that their partner may be a risk to their health because of extramarital affairs, Pintard says there are many instances where a woman can opt to refuse her partner and the law should protect her. However, he says laws should also protect men against vindictive women.
Any laws crafted to address this heinous situation that we face as a country does not give a leeway to a woman who may wish to act in a vindictive way against a man with whom she no longer enjoys a good relationship. Or they may be in a custody battle and she may have desire to have sole custody of the children. And so it is in the realm of possibility that a woman can in fact accuse a man who is not at all guilty. And therefore the law, any law crafting, must make sure that the clear message is sent that there are tremendous penalties for fabricating charges against an otherwise innocent man.
In other news, when Hurricane Dorian hit 2 years ago, what little contact was available from Abaco was due to Alive's ability to reestablish service in a matter of hours. Company executives visited the island today to see some of the progress made since 2019. Jerome Sawyer reports.
Abaco is by far a distinctively different place today than 2 years ago. While there are grim reminders of the catastrophe of Dorian in 2019, you can't escape the signs of the ongoing recovery. Take, for example, the Firefly Resort in Hopetown. Left in ruins after Dorian, they've reopened for business with restored structures and facilities. Abaco is the latest stop for Alive CEO John Gomez and company executives who have been lighting the 5-year anniversary candles nationwide this month.
Abaco actually has moved ahead of Grand Bahama in terms of the market share size, because when you look at the rebuild, and kudos to the community and what's happened here with all the businesses, is that there's been tremendous build back since the hurricane. And when you look at in terms of the level of service we provide, Abaco has actually surpassed Grand Bahama in terms of the market share.
Abaco has now taken the number 2 spot in Alive's market share with 16,000 customers on the network. Much of the uptake attributed to the Dorian rebuild and demands of the COVID-19 era, all but tripling the subscriber base.
We're working with those persons in terms of providing the solutions, the wireless services, especially with the remote schooling. Persons still need that remote working as well. And so we've been ensuring that the network has been working flawlessly, especially during this time, because we know that connectivity was greatly impacted by the hurricane as well.
Even Alive's new location, opened back in April, has been a major factor in the island's recovery.
We've built a new store. We've made it now easier for our customers to access us, and even from a concierge perspective as well. We actually have vans that we use on the island where we can actually go to where the customers are. They don't have to come to us physically, and we think that's a really great, and we've been getting the feedback from our customers that that's a true convenience for them.
Pretty much everywhere you look in Abaco, the scars of Dorian run deep. Yet Abaconians tell me they will continue to build back better, whatever that looks like in the long run. But it's important to note that at a time when mobile data and internet connectivity really determine the quality of life in a community like this, by all accounts, it seems the progress is steady. From Abaco for our News, I'm Jerome Sawyer.
Thanks, Jerome. When our news returns, PAHO urges educators to get the jab, and Bahamian NBA stars hit the hardwood. Stay tuned.
Get that glorious internet connection back in business within seconds with the new self-help modem reset. Just follow these very easy steps. Step 1, call 601-2200 or 242-300-2200. Number 2, select option 3. Step 3, select option 2. Step 4, enter your 8-digit account number. Step 5, follow the prompts. It's really that simple. Rev, you and us together.
This is our news. Welcome back. Though vaccination against COVID-19 will not be mandatory before students return to in-person learning, the Pan American Health Organization is recommending that teachers in the region get the jab.
PAHO considers that that vaccination against COVID-19 is not mandatory for children to go back to in-person classes. However, we do recommend that vaccination of teachers and support personnel in schools and other educational institutions be implemented largely in order to be able to protect adults and children as well.
Director of Health Emergencies, Dr. Ciro Ugarte, explains that some public health measures are proven to work in the community and should be adapted to fit a school setting, including avoiding crowded spaces and improving ventilation in school buildings.
These recommendations are aligned with the roadmap recommended by the strategic group of advisors in immunization from WHO. And there are several measures that have proven to be effective to control transmission, including the permanent use of masks by students, by teachers and staff.
In other news, 2 Bahamian NBA players in action last night as the Kings and the Suns hit the hardwood. Marcellus Hall has that tonight in sports.
All right, thanks a lot and welcome to our sports, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Bahamian DeAndre Ayton had been out of commission for a couple of games due to some leg injuries. Since then, though, he has checked back in and has had a good impact as the Suns continue their roll. Back in action last night. Let's see how he did. DeAndre Ayton back on the floor after missing a couple of games with a knee injury. Second game back for DeAndre as they faced off against the Dallas Mavericks. Good game for the big man from the Bahamas, #1 overall draft pick. Finishes up with 19 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Most importantly, the Suns get the win here, 105-98. As you mentioned, they have now won 10 in a row, looking really, really strong now in that Western Conference. Looking at other Bahamian that's playing as well, Sacramento Kings and Buddy Hield up against the Minnesota Timberwolves yesterday evening. Different story in terms of win-losses here as the Sacramento Kings go down 97-107 ends up being the final. And that's another tough loss for the Kings who now fall to 6-9. They're 11th in the Western Conference. Buddy's stats, in case you're wondering, he came off the bench as usual, played 29 minutes, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in the ball game. As you mentioned, they do come up on the bad side of the losing end as they fall to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Again, the final score 107-97. And that's how things shut down there. To the NFL, well, Week 11 gets underway with Thursday night football action. Good one coming your way. New England Patriots, one of the surprises this season. Following behind Mac Jones at quarterback, they take on the Atlanta Falcons. That game comes your way this evening. Should be a pretty good one. As we mentioned, Patriots, second in the AFC East at 6-4. Falcons, they're 4-5, but have been playing a little bit better, trying to see if they can right the ship against this tough New England squad that's now looking for its 5th straight win against this very same Falcons team. And there it is, your look at sports for you here on this Thursday. Don't forget, Thursday Night Football this evening. I'll give you details on that and more coming up for you tomorrow. I'm Marcellus Hall. Back to you.
Thanks, Marcellus. Still ahead, social services officials promote inclusion for all during Disability Awareness Week. The details after this.
Get that glorious internet connection back in business within seconds with the new self-help modem reset. Just follow these very easy steps. Step 1, call 601-2200 or 242-300-2200. Number 2, select option 3. Step 3, select option 2. Step 4, enter your 8-digit account number. Step 5, follow the prompts. It's really that simple. Rev, you and us together.
Welcome back to our news. A few showers ahead. Greg is back in the Weather Center with the details.
Thanks again, Christina. Welcome back, everybody, for your second look at weather. That high-pressure system that was providing the breezy conditions for us, now sliding out towards the east. That's allowing tropical moisture out of the Caribbean to move towards our area, lifting to the north. That's in anticipation for a frontal boundary that's going to be getting in here sometime by Friday into Saturday. That frontal boundary now shaping up across the southeast United States. So we're looking for some cloudy conditions as well as some showers and isolated thunderstorms Friday into early Saturday before things clear out for the second half of the weekend. The tropics, we're winding down, and the Atlantic hurricane season remains quiet. Tropical cyclone formation not expected through the next 5 days. Boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Your winds will be out of the east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Low tide was at 7:08 tonight. For the central and southeastern islands, caution flag posted for you guys down there. East to southeast winds at 15 knots. Seas will be running 3 to 5 feet over the ocean. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through Thursday. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe evening, everybody. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Greg. Well, the fight for disability rights will be the focus of Disability Awareness Week, which begins on November 27th under the theme Inclusion for All. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Services, Phaedra Raming, says members of the disabled community continue to face many challenges.
Accessing transportation, and that is something that the able-bodied persons take for granted. However, the public transportation system is not disabled friendly, and there are public service drivers who actually refuse to transport persons with disabilities. Discrimination by the banking industry. For reasons that are still being explored, financial institutions are refusing to issue ATM cards to persons with disabilities.
Project Officer Kendrick Roll says they have a whole list of events planned.
Starting with a national flyer distribution and donation drive through a partnership of NGOs for disabilities and civic organizations this Saturday, November the 20th. Highlights of the week include the Disability Awareness Walk and Motorcades, which will be held on Saturday, November the 27th at 9 a.m., starting and ending at the Stapleton School on Dolphin Drive. On Sunday, the 28th, we will have our recognition church service at Living Waters Kingdom Ministries.
Well, thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Christina Dragovich. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Stay tuned for a new episode of On the Record with Jerome Sawyer. Have a beautiful evening, Bahamas.